Hey, Facebook
Hey YouTube, it's Angie.
and Renee.
Guess what? We here, y'all.
Woo, it's been, yeah, let's just say it's been real.
Sorry.
Yes, we are sorry for the delay, everyone. We're here. That's all we can say. We're here.
Yeah, yep, we're here. We made it.
Woo, yeah,
So, well then let's go on and let's see what we talking about.
we are talking about forgiving, and then what? What happens after we forgive?
That's right. So,
Yeah.
what is it?
Well, we had this discussion, Angie and I, we were talking about it. And a lot of people say, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget what you did.
Hmm.
And so we want to really talk about it. We want some feedback. Is that the right demeanor to have when you're telling someone that I'm going to forgive you, but I won't forget what you did?
So, my take on that is that it's all about attitude, right?
Okay.
So if you're already coming off of like, yeah, I forgive you, but I'll never forget, keep it. Your attitude is wrong, right? Because always what helps me to be able to forgive people is that I always think about what is it that I've done that I need forgiveness for, not just from other people, but from Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't throw it in my face. He doesn't condemn us. He doesn't. Now, he will chastise those who he loves, or chasten, or however you want to say it, the King James Version, whatever. Those he loves, but there's a difference of condemning somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, we are human, and I don't expect, for us to just be like, oh no, it's just whatever, willy nilly.
Hmm.
You need to live and be wise about certain things. And sometimes when somebody does you does you wrong, it will change how we interact with each other. So we also have to know that we're not going to be a doormat, but that doesn't mean that if I see that person, I'm just going to be like, I'm absolutely doing nothing for them. If they're hungry, feed them. That doesn't mean that they have to hang out with you. Doesn't mean that they have to be at all of your functions, but we have to forgive with the right attitude.
So I guess how would we know? Because I believe that we are supposed to forgive. And I had this discussion with someone when I was saying that we should forget. Well, how do I forget what somebody did? When you're automatically saying, "How do I forget what you did?" That demeanor and that attitude is like, "Did you really forgive?"
Right.
So I try to, and it's easier said than done. And to me, it's a process. If you can forgive automatically, I give it to you. I'm not there yet. I have to. I'm learning that I can't keep saying, I forgive you, but oh my gosh, keep replaying or speaking out my mouth. They hurt me. They did this to me. The more I say that, I find myself getting into a place of like anger.
Hmm.
So I'm learning that I forgive and just shut my mouth
Yes.
until I'm at the place where I can say, I forgive. Oh, now, we're good. But
Right.
to me, it's a process to forgive. And until you get to that place, I'm learning that life and death is in the power of our tongue.
Yes.
So, I forgive. Oh, you look nice today. Or just try to think good thoughts instead of what you really want to say out your mouth.
Right. Right. True. And, but we also have to know that we forgive, and then what? It's a
Yeah.
choice.
Yes, it is.
Forgiving, to forgive somebody, that's a choice that
Yes,
we
it
make.
is.
in life, a lot of the things that we do are choices.
Yes.
So we have to choose to say, I forgive. And now it might not stick the first time,
No.
right?
Or the
You might
second.
say, right, or the second or the 15th. It might take you a long time, but every day when we wake up, I choose to forgive. There may be times, and so we always have to remember the enemy is going to come and is going to do anything that he can do to distract us from getting walking in our purpose and from
Yes.
living in our purpose and to moving to the next level. So there may be something, there may be someone, it could be a smell, it could be a sound that's going to take you back to that time.
Yes.
And at that moment you have to say, okay, I don't like it here, but I choose to forgive.
Yeah.
I choose to forgive. So it's a choice. That's the then what? Make the choice every day. I choose to. I choose not to stay here. Because when we stay stuck in unforgiveness, it's a heaviness on us.
Yes, it
The other
is.
person has gone on. 9 times out of 10, that's right, Sister Bernice. Forgiveness is for you. As I
Yes.
was just saying, it's a hindrance to us. And so the other person, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, the other person has gone on with their life. They
Mm-hmm.
may have forgot what they did to you, or they don't care, right? Because that's who they are at that time, or still are that way. But we have to show grace to people because what that person did to you 10 years ago may not be the same person that they are now, right? We grow. I hope we do.
Yeah, that's the key word.
Right.
That's the key word. I hope we do. But and also I'm learning that when we forgive, it lifts so many burdens off of us.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Because when we hold for unforgiveness and it's like and it's like we're talking about forgiving, then what? When you forgive, you feel so much free.
Yes.
Because I know when I used to hold unforgiveness, it took so much energy for me to try to hold on to that thing. Oh, they did me wrong. I would avoid the person. I would change my phone number. I would see them going this way, be like, you know what? I'm going the other way. And it's so much energy that you waste trying to hold on to a thing instead of saying it's easier. Let me release it.
That's right. That's right. But we're always living in that, I'm gonna get you back. Or,
Yes.
I want you to feel how I feel. That's
Yeah.
not for us to do.
Yeah.
That's not for us to do.
Yeah.
That's God's work to do. You know what I'm saying? If we believe in Him and we are trusting Him,
Yeah.
we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
We have to keep going to the next thing. Learn from that thing. The thing is forgive, and now what? The now what is learn from that experience, right? What part did I play in it? Because we always feel like that we're totally innocent from it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are.
Yeah.
And there are things that happen to us that, we had absolutely no part in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just somebody was just being honoring, you know, and we played absolutely no part. But what about the things that we did play a part in?
Yeah.
Could it have been our reaction or response to them?
Yeah.
Could it have been that um, we may have unknowingly hurt them? So
Yeah.
in turn, they hurt us? Could it be that it's something that's deep rooted within them that was a trigger? I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
So, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this? So, we also have to look at it in that aspect as well.
And when thinking about forgiveness, I've learned that the test is always going to come to make sure that thing is out of you.
Yeah.
And when that test come, how you respond is going to let you know, have I truly forgiven this person or the situation? I'm over the situation.
Right.
I remember I was dealing with a situation and I felt like I was over it. And at that moment when I felt like, okay, this is good, I'm over it. The person was agitating me more to the
Mhm.
point where it was like, are you going to let your flesh rise up or are you going to sit here and take it and shut your mouth?
Right.
And I realized when I didn't pay the situation no mind, it went away.
That's right.
But when we sit there and dwell on it, that's when the whole thing rises back up again. And that's when that test come back around again.
That's right. What you feed will grow.
Yes.
So when you're putting all that energy into
Yes.
that, that's what's going to grow. Perspective
Yes.
is everything.
That's right.
Perspective is everything.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
So I have a question I want to ask. How do I find true healing after forgiveness?
Jesus. No, but how do I find true healing after forgiveness? I mean, it's ing is something that is ongoing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So until we get healed, we have to continue in the ing.
Yeah.
So that thing we have to kill it. Every time it comes up, nope, I'm shutting it down.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm shutting it down. Nope, I'm shutting it. You don't give it any foothold at all.
Yeah.
You can't. As soon as you start thinking it may take you a few minutes, an hour, 2 hours, however it is. But whatever it is that you have to do to get through that,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. If it means that that you got to turn down some plates, if you got to fast, nope, flesh is
Yeah.
rising up. Let me fast through this. Let me call on my prayer warriors. I want to in a minute. I'll get on the text. Pray for me. This is what I'm going through. Get that pride out of the way.
Yeah.
Pride out of the way. And then I think that sometimes when they tend to say I forgive and I forget,
Mm-hmm.
that they are thinking that that's making them weak.
Yeah.
Because if I forget what you did to me, you know what I'm saying, and I forgive you, then people may think that I'm weak. No, it takes a strong person to be able to stand there and not want to punch you in the face for what it is that you did or you said, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just have to find what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. So fast, pray, um, call on call on your tribe, write something down. Don't burn nothing up, but maybe write it down and rip it up. Um, Therapy, just however, what a journaling. Find what works for you.
And I think also for me, I could see what Tracy wrote. This forgiving people was a stronghold in my life. Like literally, um, that was an area where I would just like, I mean, the enemy had me like this with that. Because if you did something to me, I would cut you off. And to me, you did not exist. And the sad part is it didn't bother me.
Yes.
So it took for me to, I was tested in that area with a family member. I was tested in that area with somebody that I would give anything to.
Hmm.
And it had got to the point where I was hurt so bad. And the test came where it's like they needed me. And it's like it was, I literally could hear God saying, what are you going to do? Like, this is your test. What are you going to do? And in
Hmm.
that split moment, where the scripture says like if you give the person your coat, like
Right.
I opened my door to let this person in because that's what the scripture said do. And
Right.
one person, I would take food, all kinds of stuff, and that's how I was able to break that thing with that unforgiveness because the stronghold was real. Like I saw the person walking down the street, it was 95 degrees, I went
Right.
right past.
Right.
And it was like the test came up again. All right, what are you going to do? So I
Right.
literally had to, in order to break that thing in my life, I had to do the total opposite.
Mm.
No, I did not want the person in my house at that time, but to open the door, it opened the door to me to forgive. It broke down a lot of walls and barriers. So total opposite of what my mind was telling me to do. Ride past the person. The test came up again. What did I do? I picked the person up. I took the
Yeah.
person food. So it's like you have to do the total opposite and you have to make a decision. Our pastor taught last night on surrendering, and that thing was so powerful because our will is so strong. And I don't care who you are, this flesh is strong because
Yeah.
we can do some things that we said we would never do when this
Hmm.
is out of control. But when
Yeah.
we totally surrender to Jesus and let him in wholeheartedly, we
Yeah.
will begin to break down barriers where we had, I did not like you, I can't stand you, I would do so many hateful things to you, that when he comes in, it's like that love that he gives and pours in, all that stuff pours, it is out.
That's
But
right.
we have to be willing to allow him to come in. We have to be willing to allow our mind to transform. The world says, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna get you,
Right.
you gonna get back. That's not
Right.
what the Bible says. The
That's
Bible
it.
says vengeance is his.
There we go.
So it's like, are we gonna fight the battle or we gonna allow God to fight it? And sometimes it may seem like God, are you taking a nap? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Do you see what's going on? Because sometimes I do that. I'm like, God, and he's like, Renee, I need you to be still. I need
Right.
you to shut your mouth and be still, forgive so that I can move. But it's
Right.
easier said than done. We have to surrender.
Yeah. It's a total choice.
Yes.
Because if you're supposed to be about your father's business, how
Yes.
can you be about his business when you back there on something else?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's telling you to go down on Wright Street and you still back here on Blue Street. That's
Yes.
not where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
You're out of place and you're out of order. And you're missing your blessings and
Yes.
you're missing the opportunity also to be able to bless other people.
That's
This
right.
life is not just about us.
Yes.
And when we can get out of that mindset of what can I get, what can I get, what can I get? No, this life is about what can I give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the more that you hold on to the old
Mhm.
stuff, there's no room for the new stuff.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You holding on to that old way of thinking. He can't give you a new mind because you holding on to the old stuff,
That's right.
which is holding you back from what? From forgiving.
Yeah.
You have to get out of that mindset and you have to be free.
Yeah.
Like this literally, if you look at forgiveness as a matter of life and death, which
Yes.
it really is. Now, it may not, and it could cause a physical death because as we hold on to unforgiveness, it can cause stress. Stress
Yes.
can then what? Cause heart problems,
Yeah.
diabetes, high blood pressure, all that stuff, right? And we're wondering why we walking around here looking cuckoo because you holding on to stuff that doesn't belong in your body.
Yeah.
It's like when you have a pimple, that stuff that is impurities that are in your body that are trying to get out. What you put in when it's trying to, if you have a foreign object in your body, it's going to try to get out any way that it can.
Mhm.
That's what we have to remember. That's what we have to do. We have to make a choice and say, no, no, no. Nope. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yes. So, what did Tracy say? Forgiveness is very hard for me, especially to those I loved, family members, and people I call close friends. You called them close friends. That didn't mean that they were. And also, the enemy is going to use those that are closest to you.
Mhm.
A lot of times, he will use those that are closest to you. And that's why you have to be mindful of, even with family, who it is that you keep in your close circle, right? Because for those of us who have spouses, for those of us who have children, for those of us who have siblings, parents, listen, there's a lot. There's times that I will tell you when I wasn't living right, and even still sometimes when we let our guard down, then
Mhm.
we can use us too. That's why we have to be mindful of. ourselves, but also the circle that we keep. God
Yeah.
loves you. Just, and I know that it's very hard. It's hard for everybody. We're not saying it, it's a cakewalk. It's not an easy thing to do, but it can be done.
Yeah.
There's nothing impossible. There's
Yeah.
nothing impossible with Christ. Nothing.
That's right. You have to make a decision.
Mhm.
I'll never forget. My sister went to school with some guys, and one guy, apparently, people made fun of him in high school. And it was about 2 years after they graduated. They were out. A group of guys, friends, was outside, and they were joking and laughing. And when the guy walked up to him and he said, "You remember me?" He said, "Yeah, we remember you." No, joking and laughing. He said, "You made fun of me in high school." And he shot and killed the guy. Shot and killed him. And when they went to court, I'll never forget, he just kept saying he made fun of me. And I never forgot. I held on to it. And this person had moved on with their life,
Mhm.
joking with you. And
Right.
you walk up to him and you kill him because he held on he held on so long. And when we
Right.
hold on, it gets a stronghold. And
Yes.
once something takes a hold and you're festering on that thing and just keep remembering and keep replaying it and keep replaying it, it's not a good thing.
Right.
And you can get to a place that you cannot get back from because the enemy has got in that situation and has a stronghold on you. And
Right.
that's why it's not for that person, it's for you.
That's right.
Because I don't care who you are, you don't know what you are capable of doing if
Right.
you get so heated and so upset and you blank out. You
Yeah.
don't know what you're capable of doing. All of that because you're holding on to something that you should have let go of a long time ago.
That's right. And just because they said it, that doesn't make it true.
That's right.
That doesn't make it true.
That's
And
right.
that's why it's very important to know who you are.
Yes, it is.
You have to know who you are because we will have people to that will speak negative things to us.
Yes.
I'm sure most of us have endured that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where people have said things, nasty things about us. And and to be honest, there's some things that people have said about me that were absolutely true,
Yeah.
but that was the old me. I'm a new creature in Christ. So you can't come with me with that foolishness anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't you for a minute it might trip me up. Nope, that's not who I am anymore.
Yeah.
That's not even who I am anymore. So you can keep that. No thank
Yeah.
you. That's my thing. No thank you. No. Return to sender.
Yeah. And it's okay to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay. I think it's important to forgive because the worst thing in the world to do is, and we see it all the time, and I know it's something I used to do, I would still go on with my normal life, my normal activities. I would still teach, I would still do all these great things, but I felt like it was always something like holding me back, like restricting me
Mm-hmm.
like this. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't until I realized you got to get your heart right.
That's right.
And once you get your heart right, God can begin to flow through you.
That's
It's
right.
like having your car. And you know how when you get your oil change and you get all your maintenance and tune up and stuff done, it's good.
Right.
But before you know when it's time to get the oil change and it's time to get the tune up because it's like you trying to accelerate, but it's like I'm trying to go, but
Right.
it's shaking. It's like something is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's how we're operating when we're holding on to it and we decide not to forgive. It's
That's
like
right.
I'm operating, but you're not operating at 100%. You're only at like 50%. And God is like, okay, I want to take you up here, but you're weighing this stuff is weighing you down. I can't elevate you beyond where you are.
That's right. It's a blockage.
Yes.
So it's a lot of gunk that's in it. That
Yes.
unforgiveness is a blockage. So it's trying to get through. And a
Yes.
little bit might be, a little bit can get through here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It can get through trickle, 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 trickle. But it's nothing like when it's just full blast on.
That's right.
It's nothing like that.
That's right. That's right.
Think of a clogged sink, right? You have a clogged sink and you're like, okay, the water is taking a long time to go down.
Yeah.
It's going down, but
Yeah.
it was going down at a slow pace. And then once you get that clog, you put that Drano in there, or you pick out whatever was in there. It flows right on down.
I just thought of something when you said that.
Yeah.
Um, my grandson Boogie, he had his little cars and he dropped them down in their toilet and my daughter's toilet. And they kept saying, something is wrong with the toilet. It's not flushing. And he said, oh, I put my cars in there. So they was trying to flush, and it's like just a little bit. And they had to literally take the whole thing off, the toilet off, get down in there, get all that stuff out, and now it's operating correctly.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just like what you said. Like that's how we are. Like we're just like, oh, I'm here, I'm existing. But it's like it's life beyond just existing.
Come on. Are
So
we who what was that? Are we alive or are we living?
yeah,
There's a difference.
yes it is.
There is a difference.
Yes it is.
Being present does not always mean that we are being productive.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have to come on. What is it that you're going to do? And unforgiveness is tied to all of that.
Yes it
If
is.
you're wondering why am I still stuck in this same place,
Yeah.
think about it. And it's not even always. And this goes not just to be able to forgive other people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to forgive yourself.
Yes.
Because there's some things that we do in our life, and whether it's known or unknown,
Yeah.
that we just can't get past it. And we're just like, well, maybe this is all that I deserve. No. If you are a child of God,
Mm-hmm.
you are an heir to the throne.
Yeah.
You are royalty.
That's right.
They don't hold back. They
That's
don't
right.
hold back. Whatever Christ has, you deserve it if you are his child.
That's right. That's
Stop
right.
putting limitations on yourself. So
Yes.
sometimes that unforgiveness is not just about being able to forgive other people, but
Yeah.
we have to forgive ourselves too.
Yes. Yes. And when we forgive, it's like I can speak for myself. Like I had to literally once that thing was released off of me, like
Mhm.
really pray. And I had to like you have to declare certain things once you get out of that situation.
Yeah,
Like give me back my joy, my
that's right.
peace, my my peace of mind,
Yeah,
all of that stuff. Like you have, it's yours. Like this is mine.
right.
And when you hold on to unforgiveness, it's like you're relinquishing all of that. Your peace, all of that is gone. I don't care who you are. You can't tell me you have peace when you're holding stuff. You don't have peace.
You don't. Renee, you know I know. Because it was one time that I held on to something. I looked different.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Like my skin was a whole different color.
Yes.
I looked different.
Yeah.
And I just was like, nah, shorty, nope, nope. Because this person had did something to me a few times before. And I forgave. And I forgot. Right. And then it
Hmm.
was just like when this happened, I was just like, it just was all over again. I was like, nope, we fighting. Oh, we gonna fight. Now, mind you, I was still coming to church every Sunday,
Yeah.
but we was gonna fight. And I
Yeah.
was not resting until I laid hands on her. And then it was like in literally me and God, we had, yeah. He was like, you need to let it go. And I was like, but I don't want to. And I'm not going to. Because you're not gonna get him, I'm gonna get him. And he was like, seriously, forgive him, let it go and move on.
Yeah.
And I fought with that thing for a minute
Yeah.
until I was just like, you know what? It was like you have to just tap out. It was like, all right, guys, you got
Yeah.
it. You got it. I tap out.
And that's what happens. Like we have to get tired of ourselves, get tired of the situation, and be prepared and get ready to move on.
Yeah.
And we have to understand a lot of people focus on the outer, but it's not even about that. It's about your mind, it's about your heart. And you
Mhm.
could be the sweetest person in the world. You can do all these great things. You could feed the poor. You can go to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. You can do all these great things. But guess
Right.
what? At the end of the day, when you stand before Christ and you
That's
still
right.
have that in your heart, he can say, "Depart from me. You didn't know me." Because if
Right.
you truly knew me, you would have let that thing go.
That's right.
So that's something we have to focus on. The world is so focused on how do I look? How is my appearance? Is my hair right? Am I dressed right? Do I have all these great things? None of that stuff matters if your heart is dark and it's ugly.
That's right. That's right. What else you got? You had some other questions.
Um, I think I asked, yeah, I did ask, how do I find true healing after forgiveness? We answered, is it okay to forgive? Um, and it was one other thing. It said, I found something online and it says, I don't forgive people because I am weak. I forgive them because I am strong enough to accept the fact that people make mistakes.
That's right. That's right. People do make mistakes.
Yes.
People make mistakes.
Yes.
You have to kill that flesh daily. Indeed. Is it indeed? Is it possible but to forgive but don't want those same people around
In your
in
space.
your space? Definitely.
Yeah,
It's all about attitude.
it is.
And
Yeah.
nobody, yeah, I mean, and I think I said it early on that when somebody, does something to you,
Yeah.
it's going to change how you deal and interact with that person.
Yes, it is.
It will. I mean, we have to be wise. We can't be like, oh yes, robber, come in and rob me all the time, and just leave the doors wide open and all your jewelry out where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, lock the door and put the stuff where it's supposed to go. So yes, it's definitely okay to do that because that might be a constant trigger.
Hmm.
It may be, it just may be, and sometimes you also have to look at it in this aspect too. Sometimes people aren't supposed to be in your life forever,
Yes.
but we want to make them there forever. They were just there for just a certain thing, for a reason
Hmm.
or a season,
Yep.
right? And sometimes we won't cut it off. God will do the cutting. And when God does the cutting, it's very precise, right? And yes, for a season, it's very precise. And sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it hurts. And sometimes He will make it as to where I want you to, what's the lesson that you learned in this? Because if I would have let it go a long time ago, it wouldn't have hurt this bad, you know? So it's definitely okay to do that. But we're not going to go around and be like and telling everybody, don't talk to them because you know what they did to me. I forgave them. But no, there is no but. There is no but.
Yeah. I agree
Oh,
with that. Yeah.
but when also we have to be very careful when we put our mouth on people
Yeah.
because they may have hurt me, right? And just say, for instance, um, I don't know. Just say, for instance, Sarah, she did something to me,
Hmm.
and now I'm upset with her. That's not for me to go to Renee and be like, Renee, don't talk to her because you got to watch that one because blah, 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 blah. No, because now what have I done? Now I'm gossiping. Now I'm putting this other person out there, and that's wrong of me.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Renee and I don't want her to get hurt, but that's not for me to badmouth Sarah. I can't do that. I shouldn't do that. So it can be like, no, I prefer not to be in the same space with them. Now, if it comes as to where I may hear them plotting against Renee, or I might see them come, see her with a knife coming behind. I'm going to protect my friend,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to be like, oh no. People have to be able to get to know people for themselves, because the interaction may be different.
Yeah.
I may remind Sarah of somebody that did something to her in her life. You know what I'm saying? We just
Yeah.
not vibing. But Renee and her are cool with that. So
And also with that too, it's possible to forgive and not have them in your space. We have to make sure that we take responsibility for what we did.
mhm.
Because a lot of people will say, I don't want them in my space because they did this. Okay, they did that, but did you do anything? What's your part in it? Because sometimes it's easier to see your part, the other person's part, but I didn't do anything. I'm You need to be the one to say you forgive, not me.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to see that we played a part in the situation too. So I'm going to forgive them, but I also need to ask, do I need to ask them to forgive me?
Right. Right. hmm We do. And it's something, it's a word that a lot of people, they use it, and some people don't use it right.
What?
Boundaries.
Yes.
We have to set the boundaries. We
Yes,
have to
we
set
do.
this. Well, Jesus sets the standard,
Yes.
right? He sets the standard
Yeah.
within our lives and within our space, within our
Yes.
circle. We're the ones who have to set the boundaries. We set the standards for our life. You know what I'm saying? For
Hmm.
no, thank you. I don't do that no more. So no, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't go. And then I end the also with that. Like I don't have to, you know, make somebody feel bad because I don't do that anymore. Just no, thank you. That's just I don't go to the club anymore. But you have fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes God is using situations like that to get something out of you. Come
Yes.
on, Sister Beverly. So true. So true. So true. To get something out of you. That is right. What you gonna do? How you gonna carry it? How you gonna carry it? That's right. How are you going to carry it? What are you
Yes.
going to do with that? He's trying to
Yes,
get something
indeed.
out of you, because sometimes we will hold on to things that we think that we got over,
That's right.
and something gets that deep, that thing that we bury so deep down. How you gonna carry it? How you gonna react to that thing?
Yeah.
And then that way it can, you're like, okay, either I'm gonna pass the test or I don't pass the test, but I learned the lesson.
That's right. That's right.
So even if you don't pass the test, but you learn the lesson, don't beat yourself up too hard.
That's
That's
right.
right. Dig it up and get it out.
So, are we doing an Angie moment or inspiring moment?
We can do an inspiring moment.
I like how you did that. Okay. We always end the show with the Angie moment or an inspiring moment. And my inspiring moment tonight, I was reminded when I was a child how I was watching on TV when the Berlin Wall fell down. Do you remember that? Are we giving our age? You don't? Okay. It was 1985. And I saw these people crying and they were breaking the wall down. And one person, two women hugged each other and they were sisters. And they said that they hadn't seen each other because the wall was up and the wall was so high you couldn't get over it. And I was thinking about that today, how your perspective matters. One person thought this wall was going to do good. Their perspective was it was good, not looking at the other people's perspective that it was hurting and harming people. Families were divided. They couldn't see each other for years. One person's brother died, and by the time they got through the wall, they found out the brother had passed away. So I'm saying all that to say that be careful how you see things, because what you see as help, it may actually be hindering somebody. So on that tonight, think about your wall. Whatever wall you put up, ask yourself, is this helping me or is this wall hindering me? And that's my inspiring moment.
Well, come on, girl. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, family, I will say that we have thoroughly enjoyed you all,
Yes.
and we thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We apologize again for the delay. We were having
Yes.
technical difficulties. Lashana, where you at?
Yes.
Uh, so, but we worked through them. And
Yeah.
I said, that's only because this is going to free somebody tonight.
Yes.
And I pray that whether you watched it live or you watch it on the replay,
Or you're listening on Spotify or Apple.
come on now. We even on a little podcast app.
Yes.
Somebody that went to physical therapy today, and the chiropractor was like, I was telling him about the show. And so he was looking it up on the thing, and I was like, wait a minute. And I said, yes, there it is. So, yes, follow us all over the place and make sure we forgive you for the technical difficulties. Yes, make sure that you follow us on all platforms and that you share it. Sharing is caring.
Yes. Yes. So thank you for watching. We will be back next Thursday. Promise you at 7 on the dot. YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Google Play, Apple. We're on all major platforms now. So thank you so much for watching and listening.
Yes, 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 that's right. Be free.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.